Oh,
Gala Music, welcome to another AMA. I am Taco, your community manager slash host, and I'm joined today by Darren Claxton. Darren, how's it going?
good, Matt. How are you? Great to meet you finally in face to
Uh,
face.
I'm doing great. I want to start this off by confessing something. When the team said they were going to start signing artists from the UK, I was a little hesitant just because I couldn't think of a single decent musician or band from the UK. And so I don't know if music is even something you guys do over there. Is that accurate?
That's so inaccurate. It's unbelievable.
No, name one
Wow.
decent band from the UK.
One decent band, Stereophonics, Oasis, Blur, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Genesis. Shall I
Oh,
keep going? Pink Floyd.
okay, so there's a couple maybe.
Well, right, recent.
Uh,
I mean, recent. I'm not really into the recent kind of vibes, but yeah, there's a lot of music. It's a big industry here,
yeah, there's J.R. Hartley's already given it to me in Discord. It was a joke.
I know,
Obviously,
I know it was. And there's this guy called Darren Claxton. I know him really well. He's good. He's pretty good.
No, I think this is great. We actually have a big part of our community. We have a lot in Europe and also in the UK. And
Sure.
so honestly, it's about time we started bringing some artists. You've been involved in our community for a while. You started showing up, I think, even before we launched Gala Music, saying, hey, as soon as you guys have a music platform, let's go. I'm in.
Yeah.
So when we finally decided to do a live event in London, everybody's like, well, we have to let Darren perform because he's put his time in, like he's chomping at the bit. So you are an official Gala Music Live performer. How was that experience?
That was, do you know what? That was incredible. And I really want to do it again very soon. It was just, I live in a little town in a place called Derbyshire, which is sort of in the middle of England. It's in the countryside. It's very rural. So to go to London, London's not a place I frequent, during the 90s and 2000s wasn't when I was playing in bands, and we used to do a lot of London gigs, but I've not been there for a long, long time. So, to go there on my own without a band, just me and my guitar on the train was, it was an experience. It was like an adventure, man, and I got there and it's like in Soho and I felt so out of place, but I thought, no, I'm going to be Darren and I'm just going to have fun and I'm going to play my songs, and it was amazing because I just had the crowd singing my songs back to me. I don't know how it happened, but I was like, come on, everybody sing this chorus, and come on singing back to me. It was amazing, and it's, are you a musician? Do you perform at all, Matt?
I'm just finger drumming.
Oh, right, that's cool. I do finger drumming, yeah, when I'm doing my recording. So yeah, for a non-musician, it's hard to explain to somebody who is a performer the feeling you get, the elation when people sing your own songs back to you. It's an incredible feeling. Very, very liberating, and just lifted my spirit. 2-3 years ago, I was ready to quit all of this, all the music stuff, because I wasn't getting anywhere. So, I've come a long way really in the last few years to say that I wrote a whole new album, 2 whole new albums, so the Gala Music Live was a real ignition for me, just lit that touch paper. It was awesome. And it was off the back of coming back from Nashville, because I was in Nashville a few weeks before that. Some blockchain friends that I met 2018 when I got into crypto and everything. We've been trying to meet for the last 4 or 5 years, but different things happened, and I finally went over in September. They flew me over there, and we had the best time, man. And I got to play there, and it was just amazing. So, that September, October was for me an incredible time. And I still think about it often. It's great. And Audra's just a doll. You know what I mean? Audra's just a doll now, isn't she?
Yeah, Audra's amazing. I'm a little jealous because she got to go to the London show and I didn't. Yeah, she's great though. I'll get to the next one. I get to go to a lot of the events, but not all of them, and I'm greedy, so I want to go to all of them.
Yeah, me too.
and I try to make the argument that our community is somehow going to be involved in everything that we do. So as the community manager, I'm obligated to go.
Yeah.
But that argument only works about half the time, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's a long flight, dude. It's a long flight, you know.
It is a long flight. It is a long
Yeah,
flight.
yeah, yeah.
So you were in the U.S.
Mm.
A burning question I know everyone is going to have. Have you been to the Waffle House?
Yes, I did go to the Waffle House on my last day. Yeah, it was my last day. Yeah, no, it was the day before I left. I went to Waffle House. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was amazing actually. The service was brilliant. I mean, yeah, man, it was an experience. The whole week I had like 9. It was nearly 8 or 9 days in Nashville. It was a wow. It was like going to Mars, man. It was like a totally different world. I was very out of my comfort zone, but I lapped it up, you know. I spent a couple of days on my own, which was what I like to do. I went out exploring. I went to the Gibson garage, which is a place where all the Gibson guitars are and things like that. So I spent most of the day in there, you know. Found an English bar around the corner, and it's just great. It's the best time, and the food was really, really good.
Oh, it's great food scene for sure.
Yeah, I would be the size of a house if I lived there. I mean, I really would. I like to go all in, you know, none of these half measures. Yeah, so that's the KFC was huge. Like the KFC came, like, what the hell is this? It's like a swan or something. Like, it's a massive piece of chicken.
Yeah, we don't get around. It's a lot different than European portions. Well, really portions anywhere else in the world outside the US.
Yeah, crazy. So yeah, I digress. We get on the food subject. It's great that it was an experience, man. The culture, I love culture. Just love culture. It's great.
Oh, see, it's nice to hear some culture. Look, we're doing it.
Yeah.
You mentioned Gibson, and I see you're holding a guitar, and there's a guitar in your background.
So this is my songwriting partner. I write every song. This is a crafter actually. It was made in somewhere, handmade. It was made, but this is a Gibson. Yeah, this is something that I you can't really see because I've blanked, but this is a Gibson ES339, which it's okay. Actually, I'm not a massive fan of it. It's all right. It plays okay, and it's good for blues and stuff. But I entered one of these Facebook contests. I think it was back in July, and it was like you pay like a $5 and you get these tickets, and then and I forgot all about it. And I was queuing up in McDonald's one day with my kids, on a Friday, and I get this email, checking through my emails while I'm waiting for my food, and hi Darren, congratulations, you've won a guitar. I'm like, oh, what a spam! It's spam. It's a scam. It's a spam message. I'm like, looked at it, I thought they've got my name, they've got my address, what? My PayPal, everything. I'm like, this has got to be real. So I checked into it, and lo and behold, I'd won this ES339, which is a really nice guitar. So yeah, they sent it to me. So, but it's not as good as I thought it would be. I played some amazing Gibsons in the Gibson shop in Nashville. They were out off the hook. They were like a 1960s, Les Pauls and things like this, 40 grand, some of these guitars were, and they're so lovely. Like, play them all, man. You can play them all. Anything you want to play, you can play. So I spent hours in there, and it was sadly the day I was playing this guitar, and this guy came and said, "Hey, man, I'm sorry to hear about your Queen." And it was the day the Queen passed. I'm like, whoa! And I felt really excited because I was where I love to be, in a music shop. But then on the other hand, I felt very alone and very English and very alone on my own, like a little boy, scared in this big city. And the Queen had died, and all my friends and family at home. So yeah, it was a very sobering thought, But we found an English pub, and I met some lovely people there, and we got drunk. It was good. So, what was the first question? We digressed across, didn't we? Into
I think we were going to start talking about guitars.
I did.
But then we transitioned to the royal family.
We did. Yeah.
Who's your favorite royal?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not really a royalist. I like Harry. I do. I think he's cool.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have an answer to that question. We are fascinated by the royals here in the US.
Yeah.
I don't really understand it personally. My wife loves it. She watches all the movies and follows along. Seems fun, right?
My hair's just a bit, but yeah, man. Sorry. He's a fellow ginger, isn't he? I've got to support the guy. You know what I mean? There's not many gingers left in the world. Quite rare, I just think I'm not getting controversial into this, but he's just had the balls to say what he's had the balls to say what everyone else has been thinking for a long time. That's all. But it's got him in a lot of trouble. So But I like him, and I don't know how I feel about any of them really. I don't know them, but they are part
Yeah.
of our culture. It's over 1,000 years now. It's a 1,000 years of history. It's a lot. It's a whole millennium. So it's
Yeah.
But I love
Good for
looking
them
into the
for
exactly. I love looking into the history of it, and I'm a keen detectorist, so I get out my detector. You find coins and all of this stuff, and so I've sort of taught myself about history, because and I absolutely love it. It's fascinating going back to some of the things they did. It was just insane, yeah. So the Royals, they've got a place, I guess. They're too
sure.
established. They're too established, aren't they? I mean, really, they're too established now.
People are watching this wondering what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Guys,
it's
all
Prince
right,
Harry's
I
mate.
don't
Yeah.
yeah, things just go where they go sometimes. What do you want me to do? I guess we should talk about music,
Let's do
right?
that. That's what we're here for. Yeah.
So
Oops.
you've been at it for a while. How did you first get into music?
Say it again, sorry, mate.
How did you first get into music?
Wow. So, I'm self-taught. Yeah, I'm self-taught. So I'm initially a drummer. So drums are but I love drums. Been playing drums since I was probably 9 or 10. My dad bought me a drum kit, and we set up in the lounge, and he said, "Off you go." And I just played it, and I was listening to all his old records, and playing along to Led Zeppelin and Hendrix and stuff, and Santana, all those like Pink Floyd, all those really cool bands. And then when I was about 14, 15, I got a guitar. Dad brought this old guitar home. He said, "Found this guitar at work. Nobody wanted it, so I brought it home for you." Oh, thanks, Dad. And I went off, and a few hours later, I come down. I could play that, and he said, "How'd you learn this?" I said, "I don't know, Dad." And this was the day, because I'm quite old, right? This is the day, there was no internet, there was no YouTube, and there was none of these like, "Today we're going to learn how to play," all that kind of stuff. There wasn't any of that. It was vinyl record on the deck, really carefully, because Dad's like needle on. He's like, he was really passionate about this. So, Dad, can I put a record on? Yeah, okay, yeah. Don't watch that needle. It's a diamond cut needle, £50 it cost. So I like really carefully put the needle on, and then I'd play along to the to the whole album, and that's how I taught myself. And then guitar was the same sort of thing. And then I learned the bass, and then I learned to play keys, and then some ukulele, and then I didn't really start and find my voice until I was in my 30s. I didn't really know. I'd always sort of done some backing vocals in the band because I was a drummer, and I'd do the la 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 la, all those sort of things. But I didn't really sort of dare open my voice. And this one day, this voice came out, and I was like, "Whoa, that sounds okay. It fits with what I'm doing," and it's just gone on from there, and it's just part of what I do now. I don't think about, "Oh, I'm going to sing today." It's So yeah, all those things have just developed over time, and I've not really. My music lessons at school weren't the best. They were very classically based. You're playing the violin today, and now today we're doing the harpsichord. Now we're reading music, Beethoven's Fifth. I wasn't interested in that stuff. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to rock out. I wanted to plug the guitar into the amp, turn the distortion up full, and go mad on the guitar or the drums. So, and that just pushed me further and further to do more and more. And that's yeah. I sort of taught myself, but Dad was a big inspiration. He doesn't play anything, but he saw the talent in me, and he just kept buying me instruments and saying, "There you go, try this," and left me to it, because he couldn't teach me because he didn't know how to play. So it was, yeah, I never really think about it. It's just something that I've always done, and it's much like breathing, walking, talking.
Huh. That's great. So where, if you're self-taught, where would you say your musical influences are from? Like what has sort of shaped your current sound?
Blues, without a doubt. Anything, a lot of modern music start with the blues, and I always go back to it. And a lot of my songs are based around a blues chords or folky, that kind of thing. So yeah, blues music, and then into the, the rock and the blues of the 70s, 60s, 70s, really influential to me. But everything's based. It always goes back to the blues when you sort of decompose it all. It all gets back to the blues, those sort of things. Well, we're sitting with Matt on YouTube. Yeah. That kind of thing. Yeah, it's the blues. It's the blues for me, brother.
We did get a request in the chat for you to play Freebird. I don't know if you're up for playing Freebird.
Oh, how's that go? How does it go? I'm as free as a bird. holding on. That's how it goes, isn't it? So many things that I gotta say. Yeah, something like that. There you go. That's a bit of Freebird, I think.
That was pretty good. There you go, Brand Flood. You got it. You got your request.
Welcome
Your
to the
special day today.
Welcome to the Jukebox Show with Matt and Darren.
You're warmed up. Do you want to sing one of your own tunes for everybody?
Sure. Can you hear my guitar? Can you hear me? Everything coming through clear. So yeah,
sounds great.
I love to live stream, so I've got it nailed down, you know. So my guitar runs, it's an electroacoustic guitar, and it runs through, it's got a pickup under here, under the bridge, and it runs out the back, and it goes into like a little box, like an interface, and then my mic goes into the interface, and there's a lead that comes out into this. So yes, it's all good. Okay, so this is going to be, are we going to announce the drop now? What do you think? Are we going to do it in a minute?
Oh, yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, man, let's do it. So,
yeah.
Very exciting day for me, but it's not till Thursday. But this is the pre-excitement. So this is going to be my first drop for Gala Music. And I've been looking around, you know, on the site the last few days and thinking, my God, I'm just so different to everyone else. So I hope that's okay with everybody. They're used to, like, I think, sort of the hip hop vibes and the sort of that kind of R&B sort of stuff. So it's going to stand out, I think, quite a lot. So I hope everyone's ready for this. Probably a lot different to anything else that's been there. And I think I'm the first English sort of British singer-songwriter guy, aren't I, to be on Gala. So
yeah, you definitely are. And
I
think people are ready for a different sound. We're trying, we have so many music enthusiasts in general. Everyone likes different stuff. And so we want to get as many different genres as possible. So you'd sound totally different, but also I think you fit right in, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah. So diversity is the key to everything, isn't it? Music, everything. Got to be diverse. So I'm Darren Claxton. I'm going to play you. This is my first drop. It's called Nothing's in My Way. And it goes like this. This is the acoustic version. The full version is with me playing drums, and there's bass, and it's like a whole band, but it's all me playing on the record, on the NFT when you hear it. So it's something I like to do. I like to play all the instruments myself. So this is Nothing's in My Way, acoustic vibes on a Tuesday. Woke up late this morning thinking same shit, different day. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing stands in my way, There's nothing in my way. I took my happy tablet, which helps me to find a way. Helps with my anxiety, then everything's okay. It's okay. Everything's okay. Do I even care if you don't know the strength of your own mind? People stop and stare at you and talk together time to time. Do I even care if you don't know the strength of your own mind? People stop and stare at you and talk together time to time. 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 When the feeling's rearranged, I feel like running free. Who will come and find me there? It's necessarily all of me. late this morning thinking same shit different day. What could possibly go wrong? Then stands in my way, in my way. Something in my way. Do I even care if you don't know the strength of your own mind? People stop and stare at you and talk together time to time. Do I even care if you don't know the strength of your own mind? People stop and stare at you and talk together time to time. 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 Thank you.
That was great.
Yeah, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I just had a mini heart attack because I had my my meeting muted while you played, and I have 3 monitors up, and like I'm watching the YouTube, and I lost my mouse icon for a minute.
No.
It's my cursor, and so I'm like desperately kind of finding to unmute myself, but I got it sorted out in the end.
Cool.
I work for a technology company, but I'm terrible at technology.
I hope it come across okay. It's always hard playing live, but I think the sound is better than a phone sort of sound. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
man.
no, sounds great. Most of the artists who I do AMAs with don't come prepared to sing, so I think that's a nice change of pace. That's excellent.
Yeah, thank you. I like to keep it real, as a musician, and I play instruments. We're all different kinds of musicians. Some people use samplers, and some people use loops and all this kind of make beats. But I'm just got to stick to what I do. It feels comfortable for me to just play like that. For some people, it's the worst nightmare probably. Much like speaking in public, I find that very difficult to do. Very, very cringeworthy. But if somebody said to me, "Can you play an hour in front of all these people?" That's fine, because that's my comfort zone. And this, like now, I did record a video. I sent it to you, but I thought, no, I want to play live because that's what I do. I do that. That's what I do.
Huh. So so you couldn't be on a stage just having like talking, but playing is totally great.
Oh, so I can play and talk. So we could like do a song, talk about the song, have a little, like we are now, like a chat. That's fine. But having to just talk about, today we're talking about the economics of quantum physics, and this slide here is no. Maybe I could pull it off, but yeah, it's not. I guess it's something I'm so passionate about, writing songs, and that songs are. If you picked up on the lyrics, it's about mental health, and it's about my journey, because I do struggle still, but I've been for a hell of a journey the last 15 years, and it's about, I woke up late this morning and I thought, oh my God, same shit, different day, like some of us do. But then you think, you know what, I've woke up and I'm going to enjoy the day, and I'm going to smash through the day and all those negativities. So, and I wanted to play it live because you can really sense, I guess, the emotion and the feeling in the songs when you do that, and I hope that come across.
Yeah, no, I think that makes total sense. We were talking about that recently, where like live shows and live performances, it just has a different feel than what you get from like a recorded track.
Yeah, it did. And the track and the NFT, my music, Nothing's in My Way, this song, my first drop, it was recorded, I guess it was recorded live. Like when I record the same way. So, when I recorded the song, I've got my laptop here, I've got my mic here, I've got my little interface here. It's very, very basic equipment I use. And because I'm lucky enough to be able to play these instruments, I play them live. So I'd literally have a click track go in, so like, ding, 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 and I'd play the acoustic part, and then I'd take it back to the start, and then I'd multi-track it. Then I put the next track on. I do a guide vocal, so it's like a guide vocal. I know where I am in the song, and then I take it back to the start to another track on. That's 3 tracks now. They put the bass on that one, and then go back to the start again, do some drums, and that's how I layer it. But it's all played live. There's no like sequencing and stuff like that. So it's it's when you hear it, when it drops, you'll hear it sounds like the drums were recorded with 2 microphones. My drums are on the landing upstairs. It's like a mezzanine landing, and there's like a tall hallway, you know, because it's an old house, and there's this natural reverberation in the room, you know. And I put a mic at the bottom of the stairs and one at the top, and that's how I record the drum kit on the song. You know, and I just had headphones running all the way down into the lounge with this like 20-meter cable attached, and I'd like shout to my missus now, and she'd like hit the button, record, and then like the track's playing in my ears, and I'm you know like this. So that's just to give you a bit of an insight into how I record. So it gives that real live feel to it, you know, and that's really important to me.
Yeah, so you're doing all your own recording. Do you have any outside producers, or do you also just produce the whole thing?
I roughly mix it. So
Yep.
I've got a friend that I met. We met in just the end of 2017. We met on the blockchain, and on the Hive blockchain. We blog on there, and he's a musician too. And we just like hit it off really. We started talking to Discord, and he's a musician and a producer, and he's like, oh, can I mix your song for you? Because it needs a bit of mix. Yeah, you know, I'm pretty good at mixing. I can get all the levels right, but you know, the mastering and everything is a different animal. And I'd rather give it to some. I was very precious about it, you know, because I was always like, no, it's my song. You're not touching it. Don't you dare. But then I thought, I've got to let this go. I've got to let somebody else intervene, because and what he did with it is just incredible. So he does all of my songs now. I have to pay him, and it cost me a bomb, but he's so worth it. You know, he just brings them to life. You know, he does all the compression and the spacing out and the stereo pans and you know all that kind of stuff. You know, he's called Dawood, but he's in Iran. He lives in Iran, so it's quite tricky. You know, religiously and you know, because all the politics around things, it's quite hard for us to work sometimes. There'll be certain times of the month I'll send him something and say, can you just like mix this for me or master it? And he'll say, I can't play music today, you know, because it's prayer day and stuff like that. So it's quite tricky. And this is the cultural thing, you know, the cultural issues that we face. But, you know, we work around it. But the best guy I've ever met, you know, we've not met in real life yet, and we were hoping to. But obviously, you know, some places are quite dangerous to travel to. So but that's the guy who produces my music, and I sent him a track the other day, a brand new track, which I can't wait to release as an NFT. That'd be really cool. It's a really great track. So yeah, that's my process. So I use Dawood, and sometimes he'll say I'm really busy, but you know, mostly he loves to do it because he just loves my music, and that's a real treat, and it's a really rare to find, I guess, in music. You know, people just want to do it for the money, you know, but he's done stuff for free before because he loves it so much, and that's just amazing. And you know, and I said to him, when I make it big, because I will, not if, when I said I'm gonna look after you, Dawood. We're gonna get you sorted, you know, because he's a great guy. And yeah, man.
You should at least find a way to meet up, if nothing else, right?
Yeah, try and get him to a safer place, I guess. You know, that's what I want to do if I can. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great,
awesome.
and it's great that you trust him enough and like his work enough to jump through the extra hoops to work with him versus just finding someone local would be obviously so much easier.
Exactly. I mean, you know, the way we work, like I said, I record the track. So I write songs very quickly. I don't sit there mulling over, oh my God, what should I do? They usually come out really quick. So I've got so many songs to record. And then the odd one I'll say, right, I want to work on that. So I'll spend 4 or 5 hours and I'll get all the tracks down. That's what it takes me usually, 4 or 5 hours at home. And then what I'll do, I'll send them off to a Google Drive to Dawood. He'll say, look at them. And then in 2 or 3 days' time, he turns it around and he sends me back. I'm like, wow, that's just magic. That's incredible what you've done. And he's not really done anything. He's not like auto-tuned it or anything. He's just done his magic. That's what I call it. He just sprinkles his magic over it and he puts it all together, and it's like, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And finding someone like that, you know, who you trust with your songs is really rare. And you know, you need to keep hold of these guys. So yeah, it'd be nice to get into a studio physically and do a physical. We could do an album in a week, I reckon, if we really worked hard. That's how fast we work, you know. So yeah, great guy. So if you find anyone like that, guys, and musicians listening, keep hold of them. Keep them on your side, because they are the people that will look after you, you know.
So for your songwriting process, what do you go through for that? Are you a melody first, then lyrics guy? Are you lyric first? How does the whole thing come together for you?
So I'm a riffer. I'm a rifter, you know. So yeah, I use the guitar like a drum. like Dave Grohl does. Dave Grohl's a drummer, isn't he, as well, from the Foo Fighters? So I do that. I do the whole the tapping thing, and so I'll get a riff and I'll go, oh, that's nice. And I go, da, 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 da. So it usually happens like that. That's like my song "Here I Stand." It's called "Here I Stand." You know, so it usually starts with the guitar, but I usually sit here on the sofa in my little spot that I like to sit on, look out the window at the cows in the field, and my dog sits here, and I'll just make up riffs. You know, these riffs come out, and then you know, and then the lyrics come later, usually.
Keith wants to know on YouTube, how many songs have you written? It's got to be a lot, right? Because you were in bands before you were doing this on your own. Hundreds?
I don't know that. My own, yeah, but the band thing was different because I played in covers bands, and you know, then I played an original band. But that was a group effort, you know, and it wasn't. I didn't really write the songs in that. I did, you know. Yeah, I did some guitar work on things like that, but I didn't. So on my own writing songs, maybe 50 or 60 songs, but I would say 100 probably more than that. You know, some that yeah. And I always record them. I always capture them because I'm terrible at forgetting stuff. So I record them on my phone, or I record them on the laptop, or a voice note on WhatsApp to myself, just so I don't forget them, you know. And it usually, the lyrics come to me in the car when I'm out in the car driving. It's like really annoying. So I have to just pull over and I get this melody in my head it just pops in my head. I'm like, oh, that'll fit on that song. It's a very creative process. It can be a bit annoying sometimes, like at night time sometimes. Then in bed, I'm like, oh my God, this bloody riff is going around my head and I can't sleep. So I have to come downstairs and then get it off my chest and write it down or record it and then get back to bed. So yeah, it happens very sporadically.
I'll bet your wife loves that.
She's so used to it. She's my third. Well, it's my third try at long-term relationship. So my first girlfriend, I met her when I was in the band. Oh, it was great. Oh, he's a drummer and he's lovely and sexy and all this stuff. Then after I think she got annoyed at me just gigging all the time. So we broke up. Then my next one, that was another 5-6 year relationship. Similar thing happened again. She was all jealous and stuff because I was going. But then my missus now, we've been together 15 years next week, and you know, I've got 2 children with her, and they love it. My kids are playing music now, and it's just a musical house. You know, sometimes she's like, "Oh, come on, dinner's ready." No, I've just got this bit of guitar to do. You know, and but she's used to it, you know, and she puts up with it, and it's good because she knows how much it means, and that's important as well. And it's really rare to find. So yeah.
It's great that your kids are into it. Did you have to push them into it, or did they naturally just? I love that what dads do, and I want to pick this up myself.
This was so hard, right? Because I was like, my God, I'm so passionate. I want my kids. So that, you know, my son got to sort of 10 years old, 10 years old, didn't really show any interest. I'm like, my God, what am I going to do? So I started getting a bit panicky. It's like if you're into football or rugby or whatever, baseball. I don't know, you guys, you know, you're like, oh, my son to do it, you know, and you force them. And I just take a real step back and say, no, I'm not going to do this. It's been really hard for me as a passionate musician to step back and say, no, I'm not going to force them because that's going to put them straight off it. You know, they'll end up hating it, you know. So I've left them, and it was about 2 years ago. I was went upstairs. I thought, who's playing the drums? And it was my son. And he was like, I said, how'd you learn that? He said, I just watch you play. And that was it. He'd got the beat, like separated his foot from his drum, and he's doing like a like this, you know. And I'm like, wow. So I got the guitar and we're jamming. You know, and then my little girl's got a violin from school. And that, so now he's in the keyboards. Now he's got a keyboard. He's got my old Yamaha synthesizer up there. So he's been playing just teaching himself songs, and I just leave him to it, you know. And it's been hard for me to be that disciplined and say, don't push him into it. And I start talking sometimes, and I'll say, why don't you try this? No, I'll just leave you to it. And because you know, I used to be a music teacher, so I was really passionate about teaching music to students and things. So, but with your own kids, you just want them to be the best, don't you? But I thought, no, I'll let him do it his own way, and it's paid dividends. It really has. It's been a revelation to me because I really thought I'd be a pushy dad. You know, come on, you're gonna be a rock star. let's get them chords. Come on. And his fingers are bleeding at the end. Come on, we can do more. It's like I'm sure some dads do that. Some parents do that, but I didn't. And it's paying off, and I'm excited to, I said to him, he's good, really good on the keys. He's just picked it up so easily. I said, you can come out gigging with me when you're older. Can I, Dad? I went, right, you can. You got a job. You got it. You got the job. So yeah. Have you got any children? Nice. Have you got a family, Matt?
No. Wife and 2 dogs. That's enough for me.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I didn't plan on having kids. Yeah, I've got a dog as well. We've got a puppy, 1-year-old.
Yeah, they're not very musical. They mostly just kind of sit around.
My dog loves it. Charlie, he's a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. He loves it when I play. He comes sit next to me, and he puts his head on my shoulder there, and I think he likes it. He likes the calmness of it. Yeah, nice. Cool.
I like that. So the big picture dream, would you just keep recording at home the way you do, or would you like to get out into a studio setting and do it a little different? I'm sure you've done some of that.
Oh, I've done that in the past. Yeah, I've been to studios a lot. In the band, we've been to big, huge $1 million studios, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've done all that before. I just do this because that's my budget, and a musician, unless you're really popular, we are pretty broke, if I'm honest. So that's my budget. I've got my Audio Technica mic, I've got my laptop, and that's my budget. If my budget got bigger and I became bigger, I would buy better stuff. It's like relative, isn't it, to what you need? But to produce what I produce with what I've got, it just goes to show that I think ability and skill, with music, it speaks volumes. You can have the best, you can have the best kit in the world. If you can't play it, there's no point in having it, is there? You know what I mean?
So, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean? I know people. Yeah, I do guitar. I used to do guitar lessons, and I'd rock up to somebody's house. Yeah, I've just bought this Fender Stratocaster. It was £3,000, and like, okay, they couldn't play 2 chords on it. And I'm like, what? You bastard! And I was so jealous. I'm like, let me have it. Let me have it. And they'd try for a year or 2 years and still couldn't play. I'm like, you've got this lovely guitar. It's not fair, is it? Because they thought if I buy this really expensive guitar, I'd be really good. No, it doesn't work like that. It does not work.
Yeah. I have a background in photography, and it's the exact same thing. Like you're a good photographer, you're not, and you can't buy a better camera to make yourself a better photographer. And you see that a lot. People buying really expensive gear and thinking, okay, I'm going to do it. That's not how any of this works.
I love photography too. I've taken some incredible pictures with my phone. They're amazing, because I've got the lighting right and the angles and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's what you've got. And I think somebody said to me, the best camera you can have is the one in your pocket. So the one you've got on you, isn't it? I guess the one in your pocket is your best camera.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. So it's January of 2023 right now. What are your plans for the rest of the year? We're starting off with this drop. What are the goals?
So I want to do this drop, and I want to get into the top of the charts. I know that's just a bit big-headed, isn't it? But I'd love to get into the chart thing. I've never been in charts and things. So yeah, this is the first sort of commercial thing I've done, really. Go into these sort of lumps. So I'm really excited, man, to let people hear my music and the stories that I tell, and I just want to share it, and the money's a bonus, isn't it? Of course it is, but to share my music, and I want to gig live. I want to gig around the world. I do, and I want to do that. I want to do an acoustic tour. So, by releasing my NFTs and saving those funds, that will enable me to record my next album. That's my plan, So, and like I say, get a little bit more kit or meet up with Davu somewhere neutral, and we can record. And so, I've got 2-3 albums worth to record of stuff, really, really strong songs. So that's my biggest goal, and to play live as much as possible, in as many places as possible. That's probably one of my main goals, yeah. But to share my music with you guys and the wider world, and yeah, that's what I want to do.
I like that. I think an acoustic tour feels reasonable, right? Like if it's just you, you don't need a ton more than that. Like
no,
lots of different venue options.
That's what I mean. Let's see how things go. I think it's going to go really well. I'm really excited about this with you guys, and sponsored by Gala Music. Darren, Darren on tour with it. Just him and his cameraman Matt. who's really good, right? And we were just like, yeah, we're doing an acoustic gig in each city, because it's just like me, one guitar, and you find venues and you just book all the venues, and it's acoustic. These sort of venues, no more than 50 people, really intimate. It'd be incredible. It really would. I think it'd be a really, really cool thing to do. It's something that I'd love to do. Yeah. And it's not unreasonable. If I had a big band, you need a tour bus and you need all these people and all this kit and lorries and all that. I've literally got a guitar, a guitar case, and a passport, and that's it. That's really all you need, isn't it? And a bit of money. So yeah, that's my 5-year plan, I think.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. Talk to your big bosses. Let's go. When the bull market appears, we'll plan it. We'll do it. Yeah. I think we should do 4 continents in 4 weeks. That's what I want to do.
Oh, that's a lot.
Well, so I come to America. That's the first one. So we'll do the Americas, yeah. So we'll do a couple of gigs in America, one in New York, and then one down south somewhere, and then we'll go to Africa, and we'll do something down there or up there or whatever, and then we'll go to Australia, and then we'll go to India, then Asia, and then back Europe, and then back. Yeah.
If you're going to do that, you might as well do South America and just do all of it. Do the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it.
We have community everywhere. We could work this out. We could figure this out.
This is exactly what I've been thinking. There is people all over the world. And, I was thinking of doing the sofa surfing tour, I was going to call it. But you got to be, you don't know who's who. There might be some axe murderers out there and stuff. So you got to be careful. But, if somebody's like, give up their sofa for the night, it's like, yeah, Darren's coming to stay like an international rock star. But, just cheap motels, man. It's not, I'm not posh. But that it's easily done as well. This isn't a crazy idea. It's really simple. It's a plane ride, and it's people to sponsor you. But I want to film it. I want to film the whole thing because, Netflix would love that stuff. Amazon Prime, they'd love that, man. That's the kind of thing that people love to watch. Just like the journey of a solo musician on a shoestring budget, sharing his music with the world. Great. It's a winner.
I have a guest room.
Gala Films. Gala Films.
That has your name on it when you're coming through Western Massachusetts. You can stop in and stay with me for a couple of days if you need to.
Yeah, man, that sounds great. But we can put it on Gala we can put it on Gala Films. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah.
Yeah, Bucks, if you're watching this,
Gala
here's your next film idea. We're gonna follow Darren around.
That's just a great idea. For me, obviously, I'll have a great time, but it's just something that's not been really done, has it? They follow bands around, don't they, and stuff, but not just a. But I'm thinking, I'm saying like busking in the street, free stuff. Just rock up outside a cafe, pull the guitar out, order, and then just start playing, and see what it has,
Yeah.
It's cool.
Crypto Boris says you can come to Slovenia, so you also have a couch to stay on in Slovenia.
Ah, Slovenia, that's good. I'm having it. That's good. I'm not fussy. I'll eat anything within reason. I'm not vegan or anything like that.
Perfect. We got this whole thing planned out in the YouTube chat right now. We're gonna have to put this together.
I'm serious. I know people think, "Oh, this guy's crazy," but it's something that I want to do and I will do. And I've got the backing of my family. They're happily to do that and could do it, man. Easily do it. It's not hard, But that's the way to get around, isn't it? And to promote and wow. But it's finding the venues, isn't it? That's the only. I think that's the hardest part. Finding the venues to play at. The rest of it's pretty simple because they're internal flights, tiny little flights, or trains, or all that traveling stuff. That's easy. It's finding the venues to play at who will host you and and be a part of it. So I'm thinking like a venue syndicate almost. Like a syndicate of venues around the world that all connect together. And it's like a bit like a pilot scheme, and it'll open up those opportunities up to other songwriters like myself, who just go out with a guitar and jam and stuff, It'd be a real a nice pilot scheme.
Yeah, I like that. Or just finding the right people in enough cities, like your friend in Nashville who can say,
yeah, I've got a friend in Nashville. I've got friends in Nashville, friends in Georgia. Yeah, so I've got people in America I can see, people in Europe as well. In Australia, got people I know there. So yeah, there are people.
So you're halfway there.
Exactly. There you go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh man. Okay.
Excellent.
We got off on a went off on a tangent, didn't we? There a little bit.
That's what I do.
I do too. Love it.
So this was great. Thank you so much for joining me. Your track is going live on sale on Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific time.
So that's 8 p. That's 9 p.m. for me then. 8 hours Pacific time, isn't it?
Yeah, in the same time that we did the AMA.
Yeah, 9 p.m. That's right.
Yeah,
I've got my time zones down, man. I know my time zones. I do. So
perfect. And I know you're pretty active in Discord, so you'll be in there if people have questions or want to connect or offer up their couches.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do this, but I think we could definitely plan this. And like I said, it does sound like a crazy plan, but what an amazing thing. And if people like me enough, I'm sure they do. And it'd just be awesome to do. Like little tiny venues around, cafes and restaurants and bars and, anywhere. Just do gigs in the most random places, it'd be great.
That's the most fun, probably.
Awesome. Yeah. The sofa surfing tour. Yeah, man.
Great.
Oh,
all right.
dude. It's great.
Thank you, Darren, and thank you everybody who's watching the stream. There's a bunch of people on watching now.
Yeah.
Good luck with your drop, and we'll see everybody in Discord.
So everyone watching, there must be 100 people watching, is there? I bet there is.
79 views close.
Yep. So 79 people can buy my track. There you go. So it's nearly gone. And then
perfect. And if 20 people buy 2, then we're done.
Okay, there you go. All funds will go into the tour pocket, and it'll pay for all the travel.
That's worth supporting.
So yeah, just to finish on, everything that I make from music, it goes back into my music basically, whether that's guitars, equipment, transport. So it all gets reinvested back in. So, and that's the way I like to do it. So it's a self-sufficient machine. So yeah, there you go. Thanks ever so much for your support in advance. I'll be in the Discord. Just hit me up there, and we'll have a chat.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thanks, man. Have a great rest of your day.